Alright guys, we've just had a big update from Fortnite. We've got loads of new POIs, we've got meta changes, new mobility being added. So today we're VOD reviewing 4 of the eval games from last night, and we're going to see what the new meta is, how the pros are playing it, and what things you can copy into your own gameplay. So kicking it off with game number 1, it's of course Peterbot and Puyo. You can't have a tournament without them winning a game. So they're landing at their new drop spot, which is Ranger's Rest, as they used to land up here at the Hive, but it's not the Hive anymore. It's different. There's no more mythics. There's no more medallions. There's no more exotic weapons from the bunkers. So a lot has changed in one update. It kind of feels like we've got a whole new season. I'm just going to skip to the end game in all 4 of these eval games because the new surge changes. It changes how people were playing mid game. It's not very realistic. And you guys don't have to worry about this new surge in the Div Cups, as they're only testing it in the eval cups. Ooh, lovely sneak play. Get in there. Get 2 kills. 2 refreshes. And now they're stacked. You see, basically 5-5-5 going into this end game. So these new TP masks have about 15 uses in them. So you kind of want to save them for that end game. Don't use them too much early and mid game. But they are also really common. So if you're running around a lot, you could use it and just find another one. And you can't use all 15 charges back to back. You have like 3 charges, and then it's on like a 15-second cooldown for the next one to charge up. But you're never really going to use that many all in a row anyway, so you don't have to worry about the cooldown. So now they're waiting for zone. Pull a max pull zone here. Let's see if they rotate early. Okay, so he pops a ramen. They both TP up the cliff. Box up straight away. That's very good because they couldn't see what was above them on top of that cliff. So they TP up, box up straight away, and now they have time to look around, scout, and see what's around them. Because they had no idea of anything up here. So now they can actually scout and get the next TP going for the next bit of rotate. Again, pause as soon as you land, box up. Especially in a lobby like this with all the pros. You have to be so on it and just boxing up straight away. Now, even though you don't need Fizz for mobility, it's still very good to hold in duos, as it is a team heal. Just like splashes, it heals you and your teammate. So make sure you guys are still carrying the Fizz. So very simple stuff here, just TPing to the next part of zone, boxing up. Now, I don't mind this meta too much. Like, I like having the mobility of the TP mask, but I do feel like it's kind of too easy. Like with crash pads, there was some danger of like being shot while you're using it, being beamed out of the sky. But with the TP masks, it feels like you can just TP anywhere and then you're just instantly there, you know, you don't have any danger really. Now I think one of the reasons that they are playing low ground is because with the new mobility, height is very griefable. Anybody can just TP up on height whenever they like, and it's really easy to just get griefed up there, get it taken off you, and there's just going to be a lot of people coming up trying to take high ground. TP over the top. That's a good thing to do. Pop it when it's like up in the sky. That way you have time to fall down, see what's around you, and you don't just end up landing in a box or anything like that. If you guys played during Chapter 6 Season 1, you will know all of these like tricks with the mask. But this is also a good video to like refresh you on it. Because I know myself, I'd forgotten a lot of the stuff about them. But then after watching some of these games, you remember it all, you think about all the things you used to do with the mask. And for new players who didn't play during that season, there's some new stuff they can learn. Oh, lovely piece there. And the replay lags. Yeah, you get another refresh. Now, they're not doing too much, you know. They're just harping to the next zone, getting the refresh kills when they need it. That's what separates this team from, like, the rest of them. They're just so good at getting refresh kills and just getting kills in general. Which is why they have so many points in like a normal format. This gold bubble thing here is a new item as well. It's basically a shield bubble, and if you stand inside it, you gain shield. So it's actually really good. You can hold up to 2 of them in one stack. If you guys can find 2 of them, it's probably worth carrying. In duos at least. Maybe not solos, but in duos you should probably carry that. Just straight in there. Stinger SMG is so broken. Now we're into that final moving zone. They're just fragging out. They look up at height, see them both fighting. This is a perfect opportunity to go up. Takes down Oliver OG. Takes down Carillion. Now they're on height. It's a 2v1. This is an easy win. Peterbot has all the whites. Let's see what the other player has. Electro. Actually has some decent white heals. But it doesn't really match up. So we'll just speed this up. Puyo goes down. Dies to Storm. Tried to find Electro. Playing heal off. And yeah, just a normal, standard, boring heal off. Popping the medkits. And Peterbot and Puyo take the first game. Alright, jumping into game number 2 now. We have Curve and Craze. These are the game 2 winners. And they're actually landing at this mid-map split. This place got changed a little bit. They moved the gas station for some reason. Like, the gas station used to be here. Now it's up here. I think they've actually added a bit of loot inside this area. So Curve is over here. Looks like he's getting jumped on. So let's take a look at that. Ooh, takes down one. Craze comes in. And it looks like the other guy disengaged. So they got one kill off spawn. Pretty solid loadout. And just like the last game, we're going to skip to the end game. Alright, now we're into the end game. Let's take a look at their loadouts. Craze, very solid loadout. Taking the revolver instead of a pump. And yeah, they both have TP mask. They both have ramen noodles. And yeah, pretty solid loadout. Good mats going into this end game. So the 8th zone pulls across the water. I'm assuming they're going to go early here. Just TP straight across before anyone else can. Yep, and then pause and box up. Very good stuff. Now they're frontside, they're in a really good position. All they have to do is wait for this zone to open up in front of them. So the next zone pulls, they're scouting the rotate. Looks pretty clear in front of them on the low ground. So they're actually just going to run through a little bit. Get them past that box that was above them. You see all this builds here. This was like above them. They couldn't really TP from where they were a minute ago. So they just run through a little bit. Now they have way better vision to be able to TP to the next zone. Throw the TP. And just like we saw in the last game with Peterbot and Puyo, they pop the mask when it's like in the sky. That way they can fool and scout below them. And they don't just land in someone's box. Zone pulls max into the dead side. They're going to go early. Kind of risky there. Everyone else TP'd at the same time. They managed to get together. Now they're just tarping in. $64 builds, 50 builds. Craze hits a lovely shot there onto Acorn. You're going to get a bit of a refresh. Not too much though. And look where they're tarping. This is really good. Just so much space around them. So much freedom to tarp down here. Look at where they are compared to like everybody else. Like there's just, they've got a lot of space around them. And they're just free to tarp here. Well, Craze is. Curve is up here doing who knows what. Alright, Curve gets back to Craze. Now they're tarping together. Yeah, so much space and freedom down here. He can literally farm a rock in endgame. We're literally in a 10th zone and he's farming a rock. And you hear that music, that's from that shield bubble thing that I was talking about last game. So Impul's up here. Trying to fight for this low ground. Craze gets hit really hard there. Yeah, probably want to go up a layer here. Gets back to his teammate. Nice. Good damage onto that other team next to them. They can probably fight this. Oh, some random guy jumps in front of him. Replay lags. I have no idea what happened. Did they get a kill? We'll never know. Alright, we're into the final moving zone now. Not the greatest loadout, but they're tarping here on a good layer. No one around them. They're both getting their health back up. Just playing on each other very well here. Looking up at high ground there. I think they're going to go up. Yeah, pop the TP. Up in the sky. And they can just land on their head. Now they've taken height with only like 2 builds each. But it's the final moving zone. So So far, both the wins we're watching have come from late height takes in the final zone. No one has gone for height early. And that is probably because of what I was talking about earlier, where everyone can just TP up on height, and it is just really griefed. Okay, Rapid and Threats get a third. And they actually end up winning a game as well today, so... very impressive out of them. Craze TPing on front side. Trying to get an angle here onto Reet. 2v1. Hold him out in Storm. And that is a very simple win there for Curve and Craze. So game number 3 was won by Rapid and Threats, landing down here at Canyon Crossing. And just like the other 2 games, we are going to skip ahead towards the end game. Okay, so into the 7th zone now. Let's take a look at their loadouts. Pretty solid loadout here on Rapid. Same on Threats, both got the TP mask. Like I said earlier, they are very common, very easy to find. Alright, so as you see here, they're throwing their masks, but the next zone hasn't even pulled yet. So you're probably thinking, what are they doing? Maybe they have zone cheats? But no, the reason for this is because of where they're throwing it. They're throwing it over here into the dead side. That way, if the next zone pulls there, they already have the masks set, so they can just teleport straight away. They'll be the first team in this area. Maybe they can build up for height. Maybe they just get the best position for the next rotate. Either way, they're going to be ahead of everybody else, and they're going to be in a really good position if the zone pulls in that area. So you guys can do this yourself in your own games. If there's a dead side or not many people in an area, and the zone is about to pull maybe in like 10 seconds, 5 seconds till the new zone, you just throw your mask over there, and if it pulls there, you TP straight away. If it doesn't, then you just throw your mask wherever it goes instead of that. So it's a very good strat, and a lot of people would already know this if you played in Chapter 6 Season 1. So the next zone pulls. It doesn't end up pulling where their mask is, but they still TP here. And the reason for this is because of the dead side. Like, look where they are now. Look how much space they have to be able to rotate over here. And all they have to do now is just wait for this next zone to open up, and then they can throw their mask in. So they make their way in a little bit there, just to the trees. They can refarm, and they can sort of sit here until this zone opens up. Another great thing about being on the dead side is just how much you can refarm. If you need mats, maybe you didn't go into the end game the most stacked player, you can just go to dead side and hit a refarm like they're doing here. Now they actually decide just to run ahead here instead of throwing their mask. They just want to build their way in. Threats is getting caught on the back a bit here. But they just make some space. And I think they're chilling now. Nice. You see what Rapid did there? As he was getting, like, lobby sprayed from a different team, instead of trying to hold the wall and just getting sprayed more, he just opens it up and shoots back at them. You guys have probably felt that yourself. Like, if someone shoots back at you when you're trying to spray them, then you sort of just give it up and just let it go and stop spraying them. TPing high. Quite risky there. He popped it a bit too high, like right next to high ground where they could just spray him. But they're all good. They just heal up. Drop down onto front side now. Just tarping in on a good layer. Skivvy on the wall. An EU player. He's not going to be able to get out of there, especially on that ping. So they are just building a lot in these later zones. Once you get into like the last 2 or 3 zones, it's really good just to tarp. You should have a lot of mats left anyway. Because of the masks, you can use them for the earlier rotates. Not have to burn through your mats. So they saw that high ground was fighting at the back there. They build up front side. Able to take down Canada, and now they have high ground for themselves. So they basically took that, what, 10, 20 seconds before 12th zone. So that's almost the same as the other 2 teams, where they're taking high in the final zone. Now they're on high, it should be a very simple win from up here, just spraying down with the ARs, pressuring everyone else. Skittles tries to come up for it, takes him down. Chimp is here as well. I think he's teleported back down now, he's given it up. So Rapid and Threat still on the high ground. Very good loadout here. They're going to drop down and fight. Replay lag. Chimp goes up. Chimp gets shit on. Now they're in a 2v2 versus Acorn and Bolts. Threats and Acorn fighting down there. Rapid and Bolts both setting themselves up for the heal off. Now if we take a look at the heals, Bolts should be winning this, right? 3 medkits versus 1 ramen. Bolts actually sells here, so we're going to watch his POV. He's got the medkits. He doesn't have Storm Sickness yet. I watched this on stream. He actually sold the heal off here. He sees him come over. He could easily just pop the medkits here, because Rapid didn't even know the bolts was there. But instead, Bolts runs over, tries to kill him, realizes he's going to die to Storm, tries to pop a medkit, but it's too late, and Rapid actually wins the game. So Bolts and Acorn should have won the game. They played it very well until that final second. That one decision from Bolts. Anyway, a good win from Rapid and Threats. They played it well. They got to the final 2v2. They didn't have the heal off, but luck was in their favor this game. Into our fourth and final game now. The game 4 winners were Ark and Canada, and they're landing over at Bugswatter Beach, a new POI which has just replaced the Hive. So once again, uncontested. We're going to skip to the end game. Alright, going into that 7th zone now. Pretty solid loadouts. It seems like everyone is carrying the same loadout or the same variation. They're taking Mask, Ramen, and then like 2 weapons. And we see the same here on Ark's loadout. A Mask, Ramen, 2 weapons, and then another heal. Surprisingly, neither of them have a Fizz, so don't know what's up with that. Maybe they didn't find one. And you see here, the zone pulled far. They TP'd once, they paused, and then they TP'd again, and now they're in zone. So if you save your TPs for the end game, you can basically do every rotate. Pretty simple, you just TP and then box up, and then TP again. So Ark gets hit a bit there, looking for some Storm Surge. The Storm Surge was completely broken and bugged in this game, in this tournament. So 8th zone pulls, they're just scouting. Throw a TP. Sees where it lands out there in the storm. So they know they're going to be in the new zone. So of course they need to wait for it to open up a little bit. Also have to be very careful here. If teams on the front side like Clicks, maybe Hayes' team up here, they could be looking out, see the TPs placed, and be waiting for them to use it and then spray them. So you got to be very careful doing it like that. As we see there, Canada boxes up straight away. So this is a new duo we're seeing on NA. We've got the NA West player Ark teaming up with Canada. And they are actually a good duo so far. And I think that's all with Ark still being on high ping, living on the west coast. So if he actually goes to central, gets on 0 ping, this could be a really good duo. 9th zone pulls, pretty far from them. And they're just scouting ahead. You see Canada marking something there, trying to like mark where they want to throw it or where they want to land. Now when you're opening the cone here, you have to be careful, as other teams could be around you. Like, if someone's boxed up next to you, they might try and pump you while you're throwing the mask. So make sure you're being careful throwing it, having good awareness. Pops the TP high in the sky. He's able to scout and land. And they get together really well there. 30 below on Surge. Whether that's real Surge or not, who knows. You guys won't have to worry about that in the Div Cup though. Hopefully it will just be normal Surge and not bugged like this one was. Like, they were trying to test out some new Surge, but it wasn't even working the way they wanted it to. Once again, throwing it high, landing on front side. Replay lags, so I don't know what's happening. Land in the storm a little bit, but they box up. Now they're chilling on the front side. So going into that 10th zone now, let's take a look at their mats. Canada with 65 builds, Ark with 100. So pretty solid mats still. Get the 3-2-1 right there onto Puyo. Re-jumps in the box. Ark is now 1 HP. They're able to fight Peterbot off a bit. Get the loot on Puyo. Find the kill onto Re on backside. Canada gets hit hard. They're panicking. They're all over the place. Messing up the TP. Trying to go to front side. Alright, he makes it in on only 30 health. So, that was a very scuffed rotate there. They were like trying to get the refresh, going through old builds, getting shot from all different angles. But they've made it in. And now look at their mats. Like, well, Ark's lost some builds, but Canada's 555. Nice tarps here, layering up, thinking he's going to go for high ground soon. If he's going up layers here. He definitely has the mats for it. Whenever you get a refresh, you should look at high ground, because you probably have more mats than them if they've been up there building and stuff. Tarps in on front side. He's using the chili pepper effect there from the ramen to be able to build and tarp quicker. Okay, Ark getting the pre-edits. Nice. Good damage there onto Listen. And they're actually going to leave it instead of fighting. Okay, just carrying on tarping. Replay lag. Nothing happened there. Clicks and Higgs made it out. 42 builds here. Into the final zone now. Are they going to go up for high ground like we've seen the other 3 teams do? Guess we'll find out soon. Nice kill there onto Clicks on the low ground. So yeah, they're just tarping it out. Not too much really to mention here. They're just tarping and getting refreshes. Playing on the low ground still. So this might be our only win from low ground. They have the mats here to build it out all the way until the zone closes. But they don't have any heal off. Ark takes down Chaos Gaming in the back of Storm. No white heals though. Now they're looking up. They have to fight this because they don't have the whites to play the heal off. It's a 2v1, so should be an easy finish here for them. Takes down bolts, and they get the win. So those were the 4 wins from the NA Central Eval Cup last night. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next video.